two, one. All right, great. So I'm going to kick things off. But yeah, Suralink, over the past couple of years, we've grown to become the accounting industry's number one client collaboration tool. As a lot of you will know, I'm assuming a lot of our clients are on the call. Yeah, that is kind of our brand, our bread and butter at the end of the day. Our user satisfaction far exceeds any of our competitors, and we're proud to support the fastest growing firms in our industry. These trends have all been consistent and increasing over the past couple of years, and we are proud to be that leader in this space for the accounting industry. So for those of you new to Suralink, just want to give you a high-level overview of what our kind of core product is, kind of what our um, brand has been over the past couple of years. So our biggest and most popular product that we came out to market with when we first started was request list management. It's our flagship solution. It was built specifically to help accounting firms manage the most foundational part of
Hey,
any engagement. Yeah.
Alex, real quick. I'm seeing some messages come through that there might be an echo. Um,
Oh,
let's
interesting.
see. It says I'm
Is there
not getting an
still?
echo on my end.
I'm
Is
not
ever
either.
okay? Yeah, if you can, let's.
Maybe. I guess like I mean, definitely chime in if you guys are still hearing an echo. An echo 1202. Okay.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they're good on their end. So,
Okay.
I'm okay. Sorry for interrupting.
Not at all.
I hope the person maybe you can try to rejoin or join on your browser or the desktop app. Try a different way and rejoin. Um, okay. All
Okay.
right.
Cool.
Perfect. There we go.
Awesome. Definitely let us know, guys. Definitely want to make sure you guys are getting the best audio possible. But okay, as I was saying, request list management, it is our flagship solution. It was built specifically to help accounting firms manage the most foundational part of any engagement. So that exchange of information between you and your clients. With request list management, you can easily request and receive any number of files in any format and organize them in a way that's intuitive for both sides. But it's more than just a file sharing, as most of you know. So it's definitely not just a portal. Request list management is very much a solution that is aimed to benefit both you and your clients at the end of the day. Our goal is to provide a better visibility and transparency with regards to the PBC process, improved collaboration at the end of the day, and automation of those kind of like repetitive administrative back and forth with your client, all while keeping the process as secure as possible to protect their data. So over the past year, we've actually added a number of new features to bolster our request list management products. The biggest of these being the assessment hub. So this lives actually within the request list management platform. So we've added a file previewer and quick nav capabilities so that users can now quickly assess and review fulfilled requests without needing to download PBCs locally to your desktop. Additionally, we've introduced AI into the mix. Everyone's got a chatbot these days, a Copilot, whatever they're using. We've got AI Ask Anything capabilities. So firm users can leverage the power of AI to read and interpret long, complex documents where I'm thinking debt agreements, lease agreements, things that like would take a significant amount of time to like read and interpret. But hopefully AI can speed along that process. The best part about this is that for any answers that are provided, the information is actually cited back to the source to ensure AI wasn't hallucinating. So for managers or any type of like reviewers of the like, you will know exactly where that information came from in the document. You'll know exactly whether or not that information was legit or whether or not AI made something up. But in our testing, we found that it's very comprehensive and accurate. Lastly, and in my opinion, probably most beneficial to engagement teams, we've introduced pin comments to request list management as well. So users are able to leave contextually specific feedback tied to specific sections of a document, enabling any follow-up client communication questions are as clear as possible. So I'm thinking like invoice numbers that may not be looking correct. You can highlight that and send it back to the client, asking them, hey, like I'm looking for a different one. Uh, Maybe send that along as soon as you can. So Not only in addition to that specific feedback, users will be able to tag specific colleagues or clients to streamline those follow-ups and close out those requests a lot faster. So together, these requestless management features have helped further Suralink's kind of core product and improve that collaboration between firms and their clients. So what some of you may not already know is that Suralink is no longer just a PBC solution. Our goal has evolved. We want to empower you and your clients to deliver your most efficient engagement ever. So we want to cover the entire lifecycle from request to final review. So while client collaboration obviously remains a core pillar of what we do, we've been hard at work developing new products to help engagement teams automate the quote unquote grunt work, those tedious manual tasks that eat up your most valuable hours. So automating those mundane tasks, we want to free up your team so that they can focus on the most complex areas of engagement so that they can truly use their professional judgment and yeah, perform tasks and procedures analyses that AI couldn't and provide more value to your clients at the end of the day. So want to just like build on that story. Last year, we introduced what we like to call Workpaper Suite to the Suralink platform. Workpaper Suite was designed to automate and simplify a lot of those workpaper preparation and review processes and enable a more seamless client collaboration through the entire engagement process. At the core of Workpaper Suite is a just like robust set of automated testing and review capabilities, natively built into Excel that allow you to quickly link evidence from any PBCs back to supporting schedules or client provided documents to supporting schedules or source data. So for you, for the reviewers, that means no more manually needing to cross-reference or perform time-consuming vouching or data matching. Workpaper Suite also supports PDF to Excel data extraction. So a lot of those administrative, just like data formatting, you can do with Workpaper Suite, no problem. And then features including data matching to automate the sample testing and table linking for that seamless data extraction, amongst other features. So in addition to this, we have added several unique superpowers that only Suralink can provide. First, being our native Excel add-in can seamlessly sync with our requestless management platform. So that enables your work papers to be linked to a specific request directly from Excel, ensuring that you always have the latest client information possible. Second, we've extended our client collaboration capabilities into Excel. So you no longer need to switch between platforms or take screenshots to send a follow-up message to your clients. You can actually leverage Workpaper Suite's pinned and tag comments similar to Assessment Hub to communicate directly with clients directly from your workpaper. So being able to spot any errors, any follow-up questions that may need to be asked, you can send those directly from Excel. And finally, we deliver your firm significantly enhanced security and performance. So the biggest thing for us is that our add-in allows for documents not to be downloaded and embedded into your Excel files. So they're able to stay in the cloud, very securely stored. So your work papers don't get bloated and you don't have to actually manually delete everything at the end of the engagement. Everything is kind of connected and integrated via that RLM connection. And lastly, Workpaper Suite is about just taking that manual effort out of workpaper prep and review. We're definitely trying to create that kind of seamless experience for firms and client users to complete that fully integrated request to review approach. So mentioned a request to review. With the launch of financial statement tile, Suralink has officially kind of closed that quote unquote loop at the end of the day. For years, we've been your partner in managing the chaos of initial PBC requests. Over the last year, we expanded into the field with those integrated workpaper prep and review functionality. But now we are bringing that same level of automation to the very last mile of an audit. By adding AI-powered tie-out to our platform, we've created a seamless pipeline. The data you request in RLM flows into the work papers you test in Workpaper Suite. And now teams will be able to perform the complete financial statement review with financial statement tie-out. So a lot of exciting things coming and are here, I guess. But this represents a pretty significant identity shift for Suralink at the end of the day. We want to make sure we want to make sure one thing very clear with you. This is just the beginning. We're aggressively investing in our technology just to move beyond point solutions. And our goal is to be your firm's integrated engagement automation platform. the single platform where your team does their best and most efficient work. So we're definitely working to innovate rapidly, and we're excited to have you along on this journey with us. So to jump into financial statement tie got a quick poll for you guys just to get things started. But first and foremost, I guess first off, what tools are you using today to create your clients' financial statements? Check all that apply, but is it Microsoft Office Suite? Is it a combination of Excel and Word? Is it some type of integrated audit engagement binder software, whether that's like a solution via CCH, Caseware, Thomson Reuters, whatever that might be? Maybe it's even a dedicated financial statement report preparation software that we're seeing more and more these days. Or maybe it's something completely different that we haven't listed above. And then second, what's the primary reason why errors are present when reviewing a financial statement draft? So Excel linking breaks, maybe a circular reference, formula errors, or in the underlying work papers, line items being hard keyed or manually typed, version control issues, and last minute adjustments not flowing to all relevant pages and footnotes. Or maybe it's something else that we haven't noted. But yeah, well, we'll take a minute to just let that information come through, and we'll actually share the results for these because we'd love to just like yeah give you guys some context in terms of understanding what others are facing today. But
So, real quick, Alex, while we're waiting for everyone to respond to these, maybe we could take a second to answer a couple of the questions that came through.
yeah, for sure.
Looks like someone asked, are these features just referenced when you were talking about Work Paper Suite and Assessment Hub? Are these already live in Suralink?
Yes, so that's a great question. So yeah, the assessment hub features are all already live in Suralink. They may not be, what is it, showing up on your end because your firm hasn't, I guess, upgraded to the AI kind of like features and functionality. But yes, assessment hub is now available. Those pin so that includes pin comments, AI Ask Anything, and the file previewer. If you are interested in learning more about that, reach out to sales@surelinc.com, and we will definitely get you set up. We will have a poll at the very end to kind of collect that data as well, so we can also reach out to you as needed. But in addition to that, yeah, Workpaper Suite is also available as well. So yeah, the Excel add-in that we talked about that will automate sample testing, data extraction, and that linkage between the request list manager and your work papers. So yeah, that is all available right now. Um, let's see, anything different? Is there separate pricing for each of the work paper and financial statement suite? That is a good question. I will actually defer to the sales team on that. So if anything, we'll want you to connect with our sales team to have those more deep conversations. I think we have a custom pricing arrangement with firms. So depending on the size of your firm, we will build out what makes the most sense and go from there. But no, all good questions. Looks like we have a good amount of people that have answered the questions. I'm gonna the poll already, so I'm gonna end the poll and actually share those results so that everyone can see it. Um, it looks like 79% of you are using a combination of Excel and Word. So Hunter, it sounds like we're not that it hasn't changed that much since we've been out of the game. Um,
Yep.
so very interesting to see that. And then integrated audit engagement binder software. It looks like since this was a multiple choice question, there was probably some overlap there. I remember, what is it, like being able to reference or code specific connections between the trial balance in Excel from my experience back in the day. So it sounds like not too much has changed, but that's good to know. And then primary reason why errors are being or present. So it sounds like honestly across the board, all of these things, whether it's Excel links breaking, formula errors, things being hard keyed where they're not supposed to be hard keyed, and then the classic just the version control issues, last minute adjustments. So, all right, I mean. That makes me feel good. I think we definitely have a solution that will hopefully help you guys address some of these errors. But I will continue on. And then, yeah. So, yeah, when we think of a typical audit, this is what I typically envision as a process for putting together a set of financials. So, the engagement team has prepared and reviewed the bulk of the audit work papers already, and now they're shifting gears a little bit towards putting together the actual financials. They'll roll forward the financials if they were the prior year's auditors. From there, firms will oftentimes use a combination of Word and Excel, as we kind of saw from the poll. Like that still is the sound like this the standard today to build out those initial drafts. From my experience, the next phase of financials are that is that creation process, and that's kind of the bulk of where the team's time is spent in my experience. So once those initial drafts have been built out, tie outs are performed, adjustments start flowing into the report. That just like continuous back and forth, the review and re-reviewing internally starts, ensuring anything from basic math checks to making sure there's no common rounding errors are being found. Like everybody on the engagement team is involved in this process, especially those managers, senior managers, and partners. They're really taking it a step further and like looking into um, the disclosures, making sure it's complete and consistent with the rest of the financials. So yeah, in a past life when I was still in audit, this meant just again, multiple drafts being compared to each other, being passed off before being ever passed off to the client. The goal, obviously, at the end of the day, is to make sure the financial statements are as close to perfect as possible, error-free as possible before any type of draft is seen by the client. So that is definitely the goal that we like strive for when we built our financial statement tie out. Yeah, I think for me, I think like I don't know if it's a fond memory, but like I remember just hours being spent recalculating the face of the financials, scouring the footnotes to triple check that any numbers were tied out. Um, like it was just me, a pair of red and blue pencils, and my 10 key at the end of the day. So yeah, like I hope this resonates like with folks. Like it's really a challenge and like just like picture that we kind of like thought of when we were building out the product. But yeah, I mean, thankfully we've evolved. Firms have a lot more options at their disposal to streamline the tie out process. For us at Suralink, financial statement tie out is really about taking that final, most stressful stage in an audit and making it seamless. We're leveraging AI to accelerate the review process. The goal is to catch those nagging rounding errors and inconsistencies between the face of the financials and the deeper disclosures. Excuse me. It's designed to give your team total confidence that by the time a report reaches the client, it is, again, error free, it is perfect, it is ready for their review. The way we think about it is that your firm's reputation is your most valuable asset. Your firm's reputation is on the line. Think of this tool as an extension of your brand. Financial statement tie-out helps ensure that your clients consistently receive a high-quality product at the end of the day. So simplifying that final stage of the review, you're not just protecting your own reputation, you're improving realization at the very last stage of the engagement without ever having to compromise on quality. So um, at launch, again, available today, we're introducing 3 tie-out agents to help firms when reviewing a set of financials. The first is our mathematical accuracy agents. So remember when I was talking about just having that trusty 10 key by my side? This AI agent will take care of all of that for you. So you don't have to worry about missing a rounding error. The agent essentially acts as a digital first pass, if you will. It automatically foots and crossfits every table in your set of financials. It reviews every column, row, total, verifying the math instantly. So if a number doesn't add up, even by a single dollar or digit or whatever that might be, the agent was going to flag that for you, allowing you to only focus on the discrepancies rather than having to review the entire report. So automating these repetitive math checks, we're not just saving you and your team time, we're eliminating that risk of a simple math error ever making its way into the final version and causing any type of headaches when it gets sent up the chain for review. Our next um, tie-out agent is one that we call internal consistency agent. Now, this is where the AI, in my opinion, really shows its depth and impact. So most of us are used to the tedious task of flipping through back and forth through a PDF to make sure a number on page 5 matches that same number in the notes on page 52, for instance. But this agent goes far beyond just search and find. It really looks for similar, it doesn't just look for similar dollar amounts, it actually tries to understand that contextual relationship established within the report. It recognizes how a line item in the balance sheet should flow into the statement of cash flows, or how a disclosure in the footnotes must reconcile with the face of the financials. It's essentially reading that document as an auditor. how we would normally understand the structure and the story of that set of financials. So again, it's ensuring that every interconnected data point is consistent throughout the entire report. It's make sure that nothing is out of sync and it's flagged immediately. So what I often tell people is that it's not just a great reviewer, it's also a great way to train up your staff as well. So oftentimes associates, maybe even seniors will be putting together the initial pass of the footnotes, but they don't always necessarily have as many reps as a manager would, and they don't necessarily know where an amount should be per se. It takes years of repetition, and this will hopefully get them acquainted and trained up to know where something like depreciation expense, for instance, should be found and should be included. And lastly, we have our prior year consistency agent. This helps eliminate the risk of roll forward errors. Rather than manually flipping between two different years of reports, this agent automatically compares your current draft against the prior year's issued financials to ensure every comparative figure is accounted for. Our goal with these tiled agents is really to make that final internal review faster, that quality review more effective and impactful, and significantly more reliable at the end of the day. We want to get your team to a place where they never have to manually tick and tie a report with the red and blue pen ever again. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Hunter, who's going to actually show you how this is going to work out